we're here today to talk about womb wisdom and to talk about what it means to be a modern medicine woman in our day and age. And I'm here with Sophie Ward. She's a local writer here, and she's also a shamanic facilitator. Recently we've worked together a little bit, and let's start with that. I'd love to know how that felt.
Yeah, what a gift, and such a delight to share it. It's as with any energetic experience, it's often challenging to put it into words. And as a writer, I'm traditionally write things in my hand. I don't speak them, but I feel compelled to share the incredible healing that is taking place and the really raw kind of unraveling of certain patterns that I've held in my womb, and how bringing that power center online has reorganized my entire way of navigating the world. And your wisdom comes back to me daily, to come back into my bliss body, my bliss state, and to navigate from a feminine place where we don't follow the rules. That just rocked my whole world.
Yeah, I'm big on that one.
No rules. Wow, and it just has created so much freedom in my life. So much freedom and so much space on so many levels to really experience and be fully present in the now. And it's remarkable and so subtle that the work that you do is you're not doing you're not actively doing a lot of things but in your work, but you can access a certain level of wisdom that just kind of awakens itself as you shine light on it. So I'm really grateful for that.
That's so beautiful. I love that. What I love about that is that it's exactly what I want to do, is to reawaken women to the potential that's already within them. And so with every treatment or session, that's what's being activated, is the power in the womb.
Yeah, and it's really incredible at this time of evolution and this time of women's wisdom coming to the surface, because I feel from my lineage, from my ancestry, the women who dreamed me into being led a very different life than we are able to today, and they kind of had conditioning that was necessary for the age that they were living in, perhaps, and I feel like it's this phenomenal awakening and re-emergence of this ancient feminine principle that is so needed today, and it feels like we're on the edge of something new being born, and that we're doing this for our daughters, for tomorrow's women, that the work we're doing now, it's what will then be possible for our children, for our daughters, and even for our sons.
Absolutely. Yeah. Womb wisdom used to be something that was practiced by priestesses and shamanesses many hundreds of years ago, and it's the best kept secret. Nowadays it's being reintroduced. It was lost. It's wisdom that was lost, and it's being reintroduced now slowly. So there is a kind of revolution going on to do with the new feminine, and the new feminine is an integrated woman who's integrated her shadow and integrated her wounds, and is able to be present in the world, not in a feminist sort of more aggressive way, but in a grounded and present and sensual way.
Yeah, and bringing this wisdom to to everyday women, you know, to the modern medicine woman. You know, as you said, in the past it was priestesses and shamanesses and sort of a few people of the community who had access to this knowledge. And now, you know, I mean, technology and things have helped to really spread that wisdom to everybody, and it's every woman's birthright to have access to that.
Right. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's, that was the idea behind the modern medicine woman, is for women to have a place to rediscover their wombs and this power that's in their wombs, and also to just rediscover intuition, their innate intuition within their bodies, so that they can make the right decisions and live from that place. What makes up womb wisdom is also obviously having children. So the opening of the womb can happen before you have children, but also when you have children. That's quite a pivotal moment in a woman's life. And so I'd love to hear you're one of the pioneers in this, because you gave birth at home to your beautiful son, Julius. So I'd love to hear how that empowered you.
Wow. Yeah, thanks for that question. Where do I start? I guess pregnancy and birth really brought me back to my body in a way that I hadn't really ever been fully embodied. You know, I suffered from eating disorders through my modeling career, and then lived in New York, where it was very stressful and cold at times, and you know, and there wasn't very much nature, and so I was kind of not really in my body very much, and then we moved to the countryside, to the Delaware River, Pennsylvania, and that's where I was pregnant, and I was pregnant all through the winter, and I suddenly felt like, oh my gosh, now my body is being fully used. Like, this is what all these things are actually for. Like my womb, my breasts, like everything was like, oh my God, now I'm like actually being used for this divine miracle of bringing life to this planet. And I just felt so woman, you know, so it, you know, and then giving birth, I'd had a miscarriage a year before, and when I had the miscarriage, I went to a hospital and in my mind thought that I was very safe and felt, okay, I'm going to be taken care of. But my body did something completely different and closed up and just stopped doing what it was doing. And it wasn't until I got to a safe space at home that my body started going through its process of shedding. And so that really informed my decision to have a home birth. And I felt, I had my altar, and I had my home, my nest that I'd created, and I had my communion with the animals and with the nature and the trees and the river, and it gave me so much strength to draw upon when I was actually in that process of giving birth and the contractions. And I was outside at one stage hanging off a tree, you know, holding onto the tree, you know, it was like springtime, so it was all blossoming, and then as the contractions would come, I would just sort of feel drawn toward the earth, which is this really incredible feeling of just like so much power just drawing you down to the earth. And then I just tuned out everything. Like it was just, you go so inward. And then, and then, you know, he was a big baby, so it was painful to push him out into the wide world. I had a water birth, so he was born into the water, and that process of giving birth is just, it was excruciating, but I surrendered completely. I was like, if I die, great, you know, fine, fine, I'm giving it my all, you know, as I was pushing, it was like, I'm done, like, I am completely, the flames just consumed every cell, and it was like, all right, you've taken me, you know, just take over, please, God. You know, I was just calling to God. And then he was born, and all the pain stopped, you know. So it was remarkable, and I was not the same woman ever after that, you know, it was
how
completely transforming.
Yeah.
I mean, the process of maiden to mother, it's kind of, pregnancy is like that 9-month time to really start integrating. I am a mother and I'm responsible for another life. But then when you give birth, you know, and you're breastfeeding and you're up all night and all, you know, like it's literally 24/7, and that was really shocking for me. I remember the first couple of days I was like, oh my gosh, it actually is it's non-stop. Like, oh my god.
They weren't joking.
Yeah. And luckily I had family. I had my mother-in-law and I had my own mother. It was a huge initiation into motherhood. I had no idea. Nothing could have prepared me for the actual reality of being the source of life for this tiny, completely dependent being. And
did you find that it helped you trust your body more?
Yeah. Well, actually, funnily enough, the miscarriage helped me trust my body more, because, you know, I had, basically it was a listeria issue. So listeria is a bacteria that if a pregnant woman eats something that has listeria in it, then it's very likely that the body will just say, we can't do this. So, you know, then getting pregnant, you know, there's a lot of fear coming up around, can I do this again? Yeah. And I just, the trust really grounded and landed in my body after that, because I realized my body knows what to do. It has so much wisdom that my mind, I mean, I read so many books and watched so many movies, but the wisdom that the body has to say, this is good, this is, you know, to know how to build a brain, you know, inside of us. Like, that's phenomenal. And all the veins, and it's just remarkable. So there's that wisdom that really was there. And birth, I mean, I felt like I completely I felt like birth shattered me in a way. Right. And I'm still putting the pieces back. Yeah. But, you know, I'm not the same woman. So it exploded me, and then reintegrate into this new woman.
I love that, because I think of birth as the ultimate shamanic process. It's like, I think we're open as human beings. We're open to the dimensions in mainly when we're giving birth, when we're coming through and being born, and when we're dying. So those are just huge moments where we see what's capable, and we're literally working interdimensionally.
Yes. Well, they say that when you give birth, for maybe 3 or 4, potentially up to a week after birth, there's this veil is parted, and there's this opening, and you're very sensitive at that time, and because you've just gone and retrieved, you know, this soul of your child, and you've just, the heavens have parted, so to speak.
So you need to bring yourself back together.
Yeah, it's the veil. It's, you know, it's a very powerful time, and I think the wisdom that's coming back into our modern day of the 40 days rest for women postpartum, and being warmed and nourished in a lot of traditional cultures where the mother is steamed and poached and kind of baked, and
warm towels.
Even squatting over hot coals in various parts of the world, and different bathing, and different scrubs of different warming spices and things, because there is that opening, and so kind of heat the mother back up to kind of bring her essence back into her body, and it's a powerful time. And I think women who, that's a traditional thing of women going back to work, or being back in their email a couple of days after the birth, or it's a very powerful time that there's a lot of integration that needs to happen, and it really sets the tone for the rest of the child's life, I think.
Yes, and so that's where childbirth can be so important for the health of the planet, really.
And I want to add into, as I was saying, that I realise even more than the child's life is, as you say, mothers have such an incredible role to play in fostering the new earth, you know, the coming of the new humanity that's been prophesied. But also that time is instrumental for the story of how the mother is in her life, you know, in the years to follow. Because if she, you know, traditionally it's so much about the baby and the baby showers and, you know, it's a boy, it's a girl, and the mother gets kind of forgotten about in many ways. And I think there's this huge upsurge of women realizing that the mother needs to be really taken care of.
Right. Yeah. Even before the birth. That's
Yes.
what you're saying. Yeah, because there's a whole preparation to giving birth, to how we give birth consciously.
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about that?
Yes. Yes. Well, I think that starts with, you know, that womb work. I mean, I hadn't done any real, you know, shamanic womb work before I became pregnant, aside from potentially the miscarriage experience, which was very powerful. But yeah, giving birth consciously and conceiving consciously, and, you know, I think that's a new concept for many women. And I think the work that you do and that you have done for me, you know, I've been feeling is preparing this beautiful garden, you know, that should another soul decide to land in my womb, that's just the work that you've done for me and that you do for women, and hopefully that you do for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm
doing my own preparation for sure.
Yes, it's like it's creating this incredibly beautiful garden for this soul to land in, and what an incredible start to life. You know, from this, you know, two cells that come together. Yeah.
Preparation can look very different for people, but ideally you would have a couple of years of being able to really go in and look at the womb, reconnect to the womb, and really clear everything in there that's in there, that is, you know, that's where we hold all our wounding and our hurt, but that's our center of connection to the world, so it can be our center of joy and gravity as well. And so going within and seeing if there's something to address, to alchemize, like, you know, any anger, fear or resentment, and also your history with your own mother, with your own mother lineage, and your history with your own birth, because it's important to look at your own birth and just acknowledge it, and acknowledge if there was any pain during your own birth. Maybe if it was a cesarean and it happened very fast, or if you had a cord wrapped around your neck, which was all of my stuff. All of it. Like, just to look at how that can still be affecting you as an adult, and so to clear that, to be able to be the best conduit that you can, in order for another life to come through, so that life isn't like picking up on all of your you know, baggage as it comes in. And also the other thing is just intuition, just I love to work with women to prepare them so they have intuition, enough trust in their own bodily intuition. They're receiving the signals from their own bodies as to what they really do want and what is good for them, so that they can make choices at the moment of birth, choices that really come from within, from themselves, and not from something they're carrying from before, or from maybe being influenced by other people, so that really what they choose is their own.
It's huge. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Thank you for the work that you're doing. It's so great.
I love it. I just love it. I love sharing it so much. And I'm just excited. Like, I love, you know, I love thinking about what it means to be a modern medicine woman today. You know, medicine women back in the day, they used to deliver babies and have the herbs and be the earth keepers and the womb keepers and, you know, wisdom keepers, and it's so beautiful how it's coming back today, as you were saying. Yeah. How we can make it just real and accessible to everyone.
Yes. Yes. Super special.
I want to mention your book that's coming out, Heart of Bold.
Yeah.
And do you want to...
Heartofbold.co is the website.
So you can find Sophie's work at heartofbold.co and check out her amazing writing. It's really magical and has been compared to, is it Henry
Miller and Mason and T.S. Eliot? People used to say that, yeah. And they still say that. But yeah,
beautiful.
it's Isaac. Actually, I shouldn't say Isaac because no one knows who Isaac is. But someone who read the book recently reflected that it really tells the story of the birth of a shaman, which I thought was really sweet and special. Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful. So your birth, in a way, like how you've come into your own practice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that coming up.
That's wonderful.
Soon. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to read a book written by a modern medicine woman, then definitely connect with Sophie's work. I don't know how to do this bit. I hate it so much. Huh?
YouTube.
Okay, yeah. A Modern Medicine Woman channel. Can you pause it, please? We're going to be launching the Modern Medicine Woman channel, and so you're going to be able to tune in for videos about womb wisdom and alchemy and how to be a modern medicine woman today. And there's going to be interviews with people such as Sophie and also other womb keepers. Also, I'll be traveling to make a film about womb wisdom in various cultures all over the world, and so I'll be filming interviews as I go along to keep you updated. So subscribe to the channel and go to whatsyourmedicine.com.